So I was reading in the news this week this story about Christians in this country, Baptist people, who are sponsoring something called purity balls. Now, when I hear about religious people holding balls, I usually think of Catholics, but this is the creepiest thing I've ever heard, and I've heard some creepy things from the Christian right. A purity ball is like a prom for a dad and his daughter, where dad gets in a tuxedo and the daughter gets in a gown, and they go to this ball, and he puts a ring on her finger and feeds her wedding cake, and she pledges to stay a virgin until she gets married. And then dad has sex with her in the car. It's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
But what century are we living in?
That's just weird. That's just completely weird.
It's all over, though.
It's in 48 states they are doing this. And I mean, what era are we living in where the man passes the daughter from dad to the husband? You know, that's what they used to do. That's what the Taliban does.
Where dad plays husband to the daughter. At the prom.
Well, you know, we went online for their website. I'm not kidding. These are T-shirts that are available on these purity ball websites. Look at this. This is not a joke. Abstinence Avenue, exit when married. Look at this one. Notice, no trespassing on this property. My father is watching. Look, here's one on panties. Now, if you're close enough to read this, I'm guessing the game is up. So, we found some others. I'm not gonna lie, these are the bullshit ones we made up that are even funny. World's greatest cocks.
Oh no.
I'm with horny. Oh, I love this one. What happens in Vegas happens to someone else. My father went to third base and all I got was this lousy T-shirt.
No.
And my favorite. Anyone want to weigh in on this before I talk about the U.S.?
It's nice that, you know, that dads, you know, want to keep their daughters pure. That's nice. But this is just weird. And why don't you want your sons to be virgins too?
If you're slipping a ring on your daughter's finger and eating wedding cake, trust me, you're plotting to f the baby.
I'm guessing I'm the only person here who's been to a father-daughter dance.
You have been to a purity ball?
Well, I haven't been to a purity ball, but I've been to a
father and daughter dance.
In fact, I was there with my daughter at one this spring, and it was a pretty uncomfortable situation for everybody. And this sounds like it makes it all worse. But here's something that does need to be said. I mean, that there is a lot of social science research, and the mayor will know it well, that shows that the relationship, the close relationship between fathers and children, sons and daughters, has an enormously powerful impact on how those kids turn out in life. And in fact, that you can cut, that if the father is present, you cut the kid's rate of succumbing to all kinds of problems, from dropping out of school, from getting into trouble with the law, from getting pregnant when she's a teenager, by 2/3. And it is a dramatic thing. So this sounds kind of gross, but there is a good thought here that people need to hear, which is fathers really matter.
I think fathers need to be realistic with their kids too, and I think part of the problem with the same movement of people is they won't teach about safe sex. They won't prevent pregnancy that way by teaching about safe sex, and I think it's the same kind of movement that is unrealistic about sex and teenagers that creates more problems than it fixes sometimes.
And responsibility of young men.
And the statistics show that the kids who do this kind of stuff and take abstinence pledges wind up having a lot more sex than the other kids do. It's in the mouth and in the nasty place, but you know, they keep
the evidence. Yeah, that is the evidence.
Right.
It doesn't work. It's not.
That's right. And look, I mean, look, I'm not the one to talk. A lot of women in the United States have called me daddy, but